And then, all right, so streams. Golly, okay. Have you ever announced the game before, or is this your first time?
I was going to do one about a week ago. I have announced a game before, but not through this whole system here.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's pretty easy. Just watch the stream, and like we should, since we're both watching on the laptop, it should be pretty synced up. So just
Yep.
do your thing, no pressure. It's all good. Giants-Bengals on beyond.
Now I feel pressure.
All right, so I added channel properly, which I didn't know how to do last time. All right, I just gotta open up my fucking. Oh, that's right. Taint told me not to curse on these, so I'll make sure to try to not do that. And play.
Super loud on the stream.
Figure out. Is it okay? Oh, make sure to mute myself there. Good God. How are you feeling about your divisional chances? Ben? I was just asking, how do you feel about your divisional chances?
Oh no, I was like, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't know why I wasn't.
No, you're all good
Okay,
now.
so okay. Wait, do I have to keep this page open?
By like the Discord page?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can minimize it. Like if you minimize it, you'll still be in the chat. Right now, I have Cody's stream on. They just got started too, so I'm about to get this going here. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Better League Network Game of the Week at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio, between the 8-2 New York Giants and the 6-4 Cincinnati Bengals. For the first time on a Better League Network stream, I am joined by the 49ers user, Ben. How's it going?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me here, Connor. I'm really excited to do this game here with a living legend.
Oh, you're far too kind. I appreciate that. Of course, we both have rooting interest in this game. This is a cross-conference matchup here between the current number 1 seed in the NFC, of course, the 8-2 New York Giants. Austin with one of the more impressive seasons that anyone's put up, quite frankly, all season. And then, of course, the 6-4 Cincinnati Bengals in the AFC. As Cody takes the field for the first time, what do you think his offensive keys to the game are to take down the number 3 ranked defense in these New York Giants?
Well, I am expecting a lot of points actually in this game. I think both these two offenses are very potent. And while they're both good defensive users, it's going to be tough for them to slow one another down because they are so good on offense, and we know how this game has been kind of heavy on the offensive side.
Yep, I've given up like 50 points a game in my last 4 games, so I totally get that. Shout out to Cam as Joe Mixon opens up with a 12-yard run there on the ISO concept. Yeah, I think I know what like the Giants' offensive scheme is, so I'll get to that when I get there. But really, Joe Burrow has been a bit off and on in terms of his passing efficiency. He's put up yardage, but in terms of not throwing a ton of interceptions, he's been again a little bit off and on there. And Austin's users been pretty good as Joe Mixon may break it big here on this RPO, ends up falling forward for, we'll charitably say, a gain of 10 in the first down. I really think what it's going to come down to, Cody, is just, getting these long, sustained drives on offense. Austin, despite the fact that he's had a lot of impressive wins, despite the fact that he's 8-2, these are bigger spotlights, I should say, than he's normally used to. So just, like, keep the ball out of his hands and put the pressure on him, put the scoreboard pressure on him, and then go from there. As we have a 1st and 10 near the 47, a tight concept here in the single back as Joe Burrow will drop back. Only 3-man rush from the Giants, although it nearly gets through. Looks like Joe Burrow end up taking off here. Make sure not to take a hit as Joe Burrow, able to hang on to it, falls forward for a gain of 4. Now, I know you played Austin, and I want to say week 3 or 4. I can't remember which. What were your general takeaways from that game in terms of Austin's ability to compete moving forward?
he was uber efficient in that game as he has been all year. That's been his calling card so far. Um, and that's what's kind of gotten him off to this great start. Not a great roster, but very efficient.
Yeah, super, super efficient. Daniel Jones has had a very solid performance all season long. Joe Burrow drops back, ends up going to the drag route there, and that is John Ross. Will they give him the first down? It's going to be close. Yes, they do. First and 10 at the 43. Yeah, through the first 4 weeks of the New York Giants schedule, he had not thrown a single interception, and he's had a couple down games. Daniel Jones recently, most notably a 4 interception performance against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just a couple weeks ago. But yeah, overall, Daniel Jones has looked really solid, and if he can keep that offensive efficiency moving forward, it's gonna be a tough ask for Cody. Of course, Cody definitely the more accomplished of these two users in terms of their bare league histories, but in terms of current in terms of current form, I should say, looking like it may be Austin's to go with here is we do have a post route to Uzma and nearly intercepted by this Giants secondary. Not the most skillful defense in the world in terms of X factor, superstar abilities, etc. Like the roster is not the most skillful, but Hero Austin has gotten this going, partially the benefit of a pretty easy divisional schedule, but the third ranked defense. What did he do defensively mostly to shut you down?
Well, if I remember correctly, that game I threw about 6 interceptions, but I mean,
Oh, throws it right to Peppers. We have an interception here by the Giants. An awful start for Joe Burrow, and Peppers will get taken down to 13. Sorry to interrupt there, but just not a good read by Cody. That was tough.
And that was right on cue. That's exactly what happened in our game. I made a few bad decisions, and one thing, Austin, he may not be the most skilled user, but he's excellent at capitalizing on mistakes like that. Let's see if he can take advantage.
As we have one of the most dangerous runners in the league. Saquon Barkley takes off, and he has a hole. Barkley takes it to the outside. Saquon Barkley falls forward, and yeah, that's going to be if Barkley's keeps being able to set the edge like that. If he's able to get past the first level, that is going to be tough going from Cody. Cody's been very vocal about how difficult he finds it to stop the run. I'm sure Austin's been taking notes. I'm sure Austin will establish the run here early and often. As soon as I say that, we have a play action. Has the crosser briefly open. May have the post route. Daniel Jones to Sterling Shepard and a 72-yard touchdown, Giants.
And what a beautiful, beautiful play setup right there on the play action. You talked about how both users know that Saquon's going to run the ball. That looked like a cover 2 look from Cincinnati, and the middle deep exposed.
Absolutely, yeah, an absolutely beautiful read from Daniel Jones, the company has said. And Austin scored too quickly for me to even get my thoughts in, but that was actually what my offensive key to the game was. Of course, we know that Saquon Barkley is going to get his. We know that he's going to be able to establish the run game pretty well against what has been a pretty weak Bengals run defense, but I think it's going to be those well-timed play action passes that really decide the game here for Austin. Get Cody thinking that the run's coming, get Cody to overcommit to stopping the run game, and then take a deep shot to their Sterling Shepard or Golden Tate or even Evan Engram, who's a matchup nightmare as a tight end. Knowing when to take those smart deep shots will, I think, decide the game for Austin. And he's 1 for 1 so far, touchdown Giants, as I said, and now Joe Burrow takes the field for the second time after throwing an interception, has wide open, does go to him, and this is he of 98 speed. John Ross falls forward for gain of 6.
Yeah, as we get a pause early on here. Cody, obviously he is a very efficient passer. I have a little bit of concern here. I probably would have picked the Bengals to win this game, but if the Giants can jump on top early, if Austin gets off to a really hot start, maybe force Cody into some difficult passing situations throughout the game and can really lay it on him here.
Yeah, I mean, I've played Cody twice so far. Of course, he being in my division. The first game was a blowout in his favor. I won't talk about that. That's upsetting to even think about. But the second game, I will say, once I was able to establish my offensive game, I got into a multi-possession lead in the third quarter, and then once I did, Cody really started forcing it in the passing game. It was very uncharacteristic from him because I usually think of Cody as the type of user who's not prone to mentally collapsing like that when he's down in a game, especially to a user who's not as good like myself. But he forced it, and I wonder if we may see, of course, still very early, but I wonder if we'll see that same dynamic happen again, as you said here. 2nd and 3 at the 28, of course, Joe Burrow, not with the strongest start here after an interception to Julius Peppers that was really just telegraphed all day on an attempted post route, and now Joe Burrow and company will set up here as he drops back once again, gets stuck in the D-line. That is, nearly intercepted by McKinney. Another dangerous read there from Burrow, and perhaps a little bit lucky to have that get swatted down, but we have the 3rd and 3 here, the 28.
Austin's mixing up his coverage looks here. I do think Cody, I know you're down early, but you got Joe Mixon. I would be surprised if he gets away from the run too much.
Yeah, against that look specifically, we will have a wheel route here to Joe Mixon, and that is wide open, and Joe Mixon will fall forward for gain 21. I mean, against that look right there, I would have just audibled in the inside zone all day. There are only 5 men in the box, but Cody, of course, better than me, again at 21, the first down. We really, in terms of like deep play threats, of course, Henry Ruggs, DK Metcalf, a couple names that come to mind as we have as round Q, a handoff to Joe Mixon, he will fall forward. Has Cody implemented John Ross, in your opinion, as effectively as he could, or do you think it's been a little bit disappointing, from John Ross so far?
Well, I think he's going to be really disappointed in that he missed a week 2 breakout with John Ross, which I believe would have had him at Superstar.
He did, yeah.
But nevertheless, that speed makes him a threat, as I thought he was going to look there.
Yeah, it looked like he might have been looking to the post route there for a little bit, but he ends up holding on to it. Probably for the best, it was not open. 3rd and 3 here, and now the Giants with the potential to get their 2nd straight defensive stop here, 3rd and 3, the 44.
But yeah, to your point, he's definitely a weapon. There are a lot of players on offense who can make big plays, though, for this Bengals team.
Hand off to Joe Mixon, and Joe Mixon gets wrapped up, and that's only a gain of 1. And now early decision time here for Cincinnati. Will we see him? Of course, 4th and 2, you can go for it whenever you want from this down and distance. So will we see him go for it here early? It looks like he's going to set something up here, and this is an early big play here potentially for both teams. Cody trying to gain some momentum back, and Austin potentially trying to get his 2nd straight defensive stop here. 4th to the 42 as Burrow drops back, does not have the corner route open, ends up going to John Ross, and John Ross with the smart possession catch, able to hang on to it. First down, Bengals.
Yep, and I think that 3rd down run that we saw there from Cody was knowing that from that spot of the field, he was going to go for it on 4th down no matter what.
Yeah, you make a very good point there. Yeah, it looked like he was going for it all the way as we will have a slip screen concept here. He may have some blocking. Nope, the block. Oh, as Joe Mixon sheds a man. And Joe Mixon, spins towards the sideline. May have had something big there. Ends up getting a gain of 5. Real quick in the chat, make yourselves known. We got Cloud in here. We got Cam in here. We got Cody, it sounds like, listening to the broadcast as well. If you're in here, let me know where you are, and give me your Super Bowl predictions. I want to hear them. 2nd and 5 here at the 19. Cody gets in the red zone for the first time all game. May have the crosser open, ends up going to John Ross, 98 speed. Once again, able to shed a man. Touchdown, Bengals. And Cody strikes back on offense.
Yep, and you would instinctually think that John Ross on those deep posts and those deep routes, that's where he's going to burn you. But I really think this is where Cody's going to try and attack with Ross on these little short crossers, and then just beat the defender to the sideline and get that leverage on the side of the field.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, especially given how questionable pursuit angles are if you don't take control of them in this Madden.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the high speed. I mean, we've seen Alex, who actually just in the chat said, I'm the biggest Giants fan ever today. Same Alex. It's really all about getting those speedy guys into the open field, getting them into open space, and then just letting them work from there because, again, pursuit angle's not the best in this Madden. Cincinnati with a really nice drive there. An early aggressive decision to go forward on 4th and 2 pays off, and they do get a touchdown. And now, for the 2nd time, Daniel Jones and company will take the field. The first drive was pretty much perfect from Daniel Jones and company. Of course, a touchdown off a deep post route. Will we see, as Cody really prepping for the run here, Saquon Barkley gets wrapped up there, only a gain of 1. And yeah, we're going to see a lot of stacked boxes here from the Bengals, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Barkley has pretty much torn up everybody that he's gone against. So expect a heavy, heavy dose of Saquon. Although I'm really not a huge fan of the shotgun handoffs to him. I want to see Daniel Jones get under center and just feed him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely right. As we have a RPO here, Saquon Barkley cuts off, and Saquon Barkley falls forward. Not quite a first down, I believe. Yeah, 3rd and 1 at 34. Once again, that's the just excellence of Saquon Barkley and the excellence of Austin as a runner there. Didn't look like he had a hole. Ends up able to cut against the grain. That is a gain of 8, and now make it a 4 more manageable 3rd and 1 for the Giants.
Yep, cutting against the grain. That's another thing with the pursuit angles that has really hurt Cody with this inexperienced linebacking core. Look for a lot of big runs here to be not necessarily the designed run there, but some cutbacks from Saquon.
As we have a tight coverage here in single back. I think we know exactly where this is going. Hand off to Saquon Barkley. He will easily get the first down. Able to juke a man, and once again, able to fall forward. And Cody is going to have to be really on point with these user tackles. We've seen him take control of a lot of defenders in open space here. It leads to the potential for Saquon Barkley to, get sticky and make Cody miss. It hasn't really happened yet, but watch for that here moving forward. First and 10 of the 44.
Well, and that's really an interesting point that you make there because with almost every running back at this point in the cycle, they don't have these abilities that make them really difficult to tackle for a CPU. Whereas Saquon has evasive, so those spin and jukes are going to beat the CPU unless you take control.
Okay, that's a fair point then. Yeah. Honestly, I forgot they had evasive, so thank you for reminding me of that. As Saquon Barkley would take that right up the middle. No surprise there. Again, 4. And we are starting to see Austin starting to establish the run game more and more. Again, I'll be interested to see when we see Daniel Jones really get let loose here. But so far, while it's working, why not just keep feeding Saquon? 2nd and 6 here at the 48. As we have another tight concept here out of gun again.
Absolutely. And he is, like you were saying earlier, setting up a potential play action.
As Daniel Jones will drop back, goes to Davis, and it's intercepted by the user. And this may be a pick 6, the first real mistake from Austin's perspective, as Daniel Jones unable to, he wraps him up at the 1. But a really awful read there from Austin, That was covered all the way. And Cody with the user pick.
The one part of the field that Daniel Jones really should try and stay away from this game is the short middle where Cody's user is going to be lurking.
100%, yeah. Just again, keep that efficiency going as we have a power O concept here. As Joe Mixon gets wrapped up immediately there by the left end, that is Golden with the tackle, 2nd goal to 5. A really nice stop there because it makes this a bit trickier here from Cody's perspective. Red zone offense, not being on the goal line anymore. Ooh, I would audible run here.
First down play there.
As Joe Burrow drops back. Does he have anyone open? Not really. Ends up going to the fade route. Dangerous throw. Almost intercepted by the Giants. What was he looking for there, do you think?
Well, I think he saw a cover 2 look with the corner out to the back corner of the end zone. The cornerback playing up on the line of scrimmage, and that safety, I think it was McKinney, had enough recognition there to get over there and make that play.
Now, this is going to be really interesting from Cody. I see audibles to a run. I was about to say 2 straight passes on the 5-yard line. Don't necessarily agree with me. Joe Mixon will take off in an easy walk-in touchdown, Bengals. Saw that the box wasn't as stacked as it probably should have been there. Audible to the run smartly, and an easy touchdown for these Bengals. And now with 2 straight touchdowns, Austin forced to respond here. 14-7, Cincinnati.
Yeah, I love that call to run there. I mean, a lot of the big-time passers in this league, like Dan, Cody, the other Austin, they're going to try and throw that ball in 99% of the time. But Cody, I mean, especially with Joe Mixon, his boy back there, not afraid to audible to a run on 3rd and 5.
Yeah, really smart decision there from Cody. Again, saw the defensive alignment, saw that there were a lot of cornerbacks on the field, quite frankly, a lot of DBs, and smartly audible to the run and got an easy touchdown. And now, of course, we were mentioning earlier how efficient Daniel Jones has been historically, of course, through a really just not ideal interception whatsoever from his perspective. And now, as Daniel Jones drops back, I was about to say I expect him to establish the run a bit more, but Daniel Jones dropped back, no one really open here. And what will he do as Daniel Jones smartly takes off and he gets decleated out of bounds, making it 2nd and inches?
Yeah, you can't take too many of those with Danny Dimes, especially after we saw Jameis Winston get hurt in that Saints Broncos game earlier today. These quarterbacks, they aren't getting hurt as much as you would think, but they are getting hurt. Really can't afford to lose him.
No, 100%, yeah, because it falls off quickly after Daniel Jones. I forget exactly who the backup is, but I was looking at the data leagues earlier, and let's just say the Austin's kind of screwed if Jones gets hurt, as we have a slip screen here, and this is Hines with his first touch. And Daniel Jones only with 3 pass attempts on the day here, 2 for 3, and a gain of 10 and a first down.
So, Connor, I'm curious because I've seen quite a few plays from Naheem Hines, who was acquired via trade by the Giants before the season started. You would think with Saquon back there, you wouldn't need a backup running back that much, but he's been pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if part of it is just Austin trying to, avoid injury, avoid Saquon getting too tired early on in this game. But yeah, Hines has been doing a good job. I really can't criticize Austin for it because the results really bear out the fact that Hines is, quite competent if Saquon were to ever go down, as we have, a touch pass, Saquon Barkley here. Saquon Barkley with a little, one-cut animation, a little relic of Madden 19 there, cuts up for a gain of 4.
Yeah, that's one of those plays. I mean, it worked okay. He got 4 yards, but that's one of those plays I'm not a huge fan of. Just too much motion.
A little cute, maybe, yeah.
Animation motion going on. Yeah, very close to the line of scrimmage. Takes a long time to develop.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've never been a huge fan of those. Unless it's a straight up end around, I've never liked those touch pass concepts. It seems like it's the risk reward just isn't there. But only a gain of 4 there didn't really hurt him too badly. No one really open here. Daniel Jones gonna throw it away. Ends up going, nearly intercepted by Trey Waynes. We're starting to see Daniel Jones make some questionable reads here. That was one of those where you just got to throw that ball away, in my opinion. But gets bailed out, 3rd and 6.
Yep, and anytime you go against a Cody defense and you're throwing the ball, you got to have a couple of reads that you want to make and then a check down immediately, because when you get into that situation, it gets risky.
As we have another slip screen here, and this one gets wrapped up by Alexander. Beautifully shot the gap there. Not the first time we've seen this New York Giants team go for the slip screen, but now for the first time today, we will see a punt here, as Bosher and company will have to punt this ball away, try to pin Cincinnati back deep here, but a nice defensive stop here from the Bengals. We'll have a return here, and what will Wilson be able to do here as Wilson tries to cut up against the grain? Yeah, not able to do much there, but a nice defensive stop there, I will say, for as concerned as I was about the Bengals' run defense, and again, for as much as Cody's been lamenting about not being able to stop the run in this game, overall, not doing a horrible job here against Austin. In general, Saquon's been kept in check.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I mean, if you look at the yards per carry, he's going to look pretty good so far. But I think that kind of falls on Austin right now for not using him quite as much as he probably should be.
Yeah, a couple, predictable run concepts here. Perhaps not going to him in situations where he should. And we have an RPO here from Joe Burrow. And this is Joe Mixon. Very nice user tackle there from the Giants. And that is a gain of 2.
I was a little surprised to see that audible because he audibled right into a pretty good run defensive look. I know it's Joe Mixon. He's got a lot of faith in him, but maybe not what you were looking for there.
Yeah, just tried to establish the run on a first down, but yeah, when you've got that alignment, especially with, again, a Giants secondary that is not the best in the world skill-wise, and you've got all these, A.J. Green, John Ross, etc. Maybe try to audible to pass there as we have drop back from Joe Burrow. The blitz gets picked up perfectly. RB is open. He ends up going to him. This is John Ross. And watch out. As he just gets wrapped up by Logan Ryan. But another nice chunk play here for the Bengals. First down to the 47.
That's such a difficult route to cover because, I mean, you saw right there the Giants were in zone, and he just fit right in between there. And when that's in man, it's John Ross going against, usually a third corner on that route.
And it was Joe Mixon. A little bit of a Justin run there, ran directly into his offensive line, and Joe Mixon gets wrapped up at the line there. And that's why it's so important they're able to get pressure on Joe Burrow, because Cody, even if he doesn't have his first read open, if you let him stand back there in the pocket for 5+ seconds, especially with John Ross and A.J. Green back there, someone will get open. And there, the crosser, of course, got wide open, as he said, we may have another corner concept here potentially as Joe Burrow drops back. And Joe Burrow gets wrapped up immediately, and there's the pressure we're talking about. The first sack there for Leonard Williams in a long 3rd and 22.
Man, and I didn't actually see exactly what happened immediately at the line of scrimmage, but Leonard Williams seemed like he just immediately broke that block there and got into the backfield. That's on that inexperienced offensive line, we'll call it.
That's a very kind way to put it, but yeah, an inexperienced offensive line here, and for only a 4-man rush there, that was some instantaneous pressure there, some chase in week 1 level pressure there, one might say. 3rd and 22 here at the 41. As Joe Burrow drops back, the blitz does not get through. Throws it to Bradbury. Nearly intercepted. A little unlucky for Austin not to come down with that pick, but on a 4th and 22, an obvious punting situation here for the Bengals.
Yeah, not a backbreaker. It's probably going to cost him about maybe 20 yards in field possession, but pretty poor look. I know Cody on a 3rd and 20, you don't have a lot of options, but that underneath receiver had a little bit of running room. I can't say much because I'm susceptible to throwing that ball into coverage downfield, trying to get the first down myself. But nevertheless, I think if he looks back, he's going to be disappointed with himself after that one.
Yeah, that's one thing for all of y'all Better League Network viewers to remember. Like, when I'm criticizing a user like Cody, keep in mind that, oh, as we have Saquon Barkley, and Saquon Barkley breaks loose, and again moved Von Bell right out of the way. That's what I'm talking about there. With those user tackles, will we have a 76-yard touchdown, Giants?
Yep, exactly what you said earlier. Made the user miss badly, by the way, and just that one little juke and he's gone.
But yeah, when I criticize users who are way better than me, just keep in mind that, I'm buns at this game. I'm talking from an announcing perspective. But you see me take the Madden sticks, it's really no better. A really nice one play touchdown there. Again, a 74-yard run from Saquon Barkley. And again, as you just pointed out, that's that situation where Cody probably would have been better off letting the CPU Von Bell make the tackle, or at least slow him down enough to let someone else catch up. But regardless, 2-8 for that now. 14-14 here, and this is exactly what you want from these games of the week. Nice and competitive here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, good game so far. And this has got a lot of playoff implications.
Yeah,
for a cross-conference game here. Big time on both ends.
Yeah, I've definitely got my rooting interest. You've definitely got yours as well, as we have John Ross here in the open lane. And John Ross tries to juke inside. Gets tackled there, although a nice gain of 11. Joe Burrow, kind of an off and on performance from him so far. I mean, in general, I would say Cody's throwing, at least the last drive was throwing the ball pretty well, but of course, got very lucky there in the last play to not come away with an interception. So it's been a little off and on. I think we'll see Joe Burrow calm down as this game goes on, but we'll see here. 5-man rush gets picked up very nicely. Oh, dangerous throw, but Higgins ends up coming down with it. I guess that's good timing. I don't really know what happened there, but a nice contested catch and a first down for Cincinnati.
I don't know if it was intentional, but it looked like it may have been a high ball for T. Higgins. And, why not? When you got T. Higgins, he's not a burner, but he can go up there and get it.
Yeah, again, this Bengals receiving core is dangerous, and Higgins just another one of those weapons that you can use as we have an inside zone. Finds the gap perfectly, and Joe Mixon gets, it looked like a horse collar there potentially, but that is the gain of 15 and first down. Cody's starting to establish the running game here with Joe Mixon. It's paying dividends here early.
Absolutely is. And that there's a trend going on in Madden 21 I've noticed here. When those linebackers are lined up on the line of scrimmage, they get blocked immediately. Really opens up some holes. Cody saw it there and took it for a big gain.
Yeah, I've having run a lot of nickel double A gap against Cam yesterday. That's definitely something I noticed. Painful stuff there. Tyler Boyd, gets tackled. A nice tackle there. Saved probably about 5+ yards there. 2nd and 4 to 27. Cody doing a really good job in general of finding those drag routes when nothing else downfield was open, in my opinion.
Yeah, a little dink and dunk.
Generally speaking.
Reminisce of the Burrow in real life. But can't complain. When you got all these weapons, somebody's going to break one eventually.
Another inside zone here for Joe Mixon. It's Joe Mixon. I guess I don't know if that's an arm bar necessarily, but a really nice stiff arm, able to fall forward from an extra yard. And now we have a 3rd and 1, 24 here. This will be a really nice stop for New York if they can get it. I'm expecting a run here, but you never know with Cody. Cody very trusting in his own passing game. So as he comes out in a passing concept here, not surprising. Austin really trying to disguise his coverage as much as possible. Only 3-man rush as A is open and ends up going to him, and that is an easy dink and dunk first down there. Gain of 7. And Cody finds himself in the red zone once again.
Yeah, and Cody has made a few mistakes here, but I would like to see the pressure dialed up just a little bit from this New York Giant defense, just to try and maybe get a big 3rd down stop in that situation.
Yeah, I think Austin was trying to feign pressure there. Might have seemed wide open. Ends up going to it. As he gets killed. And that saves the touchdown. I was about to yell touchdown Bengals. It didn't happen. And an incomplete pass. Oh, my God.
And I couldn't tell. Did it look like to you that he went possession catch there? Or
he absolutely went possession catch. I mean, that's just unlucky, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he threw the ball kind of on that outside shoulder away from the defender, but he still caught up to get the hit.
Tough break, and we will have an inside zone, and Joe Mixon gets loose. This might be a tough holding penalty if that ends up being what it is. Yep, holding on the left guard, and of course Austin's going to take that, making a 2nd and 18. Tough break there for the Bengals.
Yeah, that one hurts. But Cody is no stranger to having those penalties go against him. Just don't want to make a mistake in this scenario. Got to get points here.
100%, yeah, don't do anything too risky. Four-man rush there, and we have a seam shot and a touchdown by the Bengals. John Ross comes down with it, exploited the hole in the zone perfectly. Booth review, I'm pretty sure this is going to be upheld. Unless Cody gets screwed here. Yes, it is. Touchdown, Bengals.
Yep, absolutely. That was a cover 3 match look by the Giants. You put Ross in that seam against the cover 3, especially with the high safety lined up on the other side of the ball. There's going to be that little gap, and that route was just deep enough, actually, where the penalty, if there was no penalty, that route wouldn't have enough time to develop like it did. Very, very good read by Cody.
Yeah, excellent read, excellent timing there from Cody, and now Austin forced to respond here, of course. Still with 1:50 left, still with 3 timeouts. Time not necessarily a concern here, but of course you're going to want to get moving here pretty quickly, try to put some more points on the board, before halftime. This has been a really good game, man. I mean, it's a nice chess match here between two users. I honestly, I was kind of thinking that Cody would run away with this after the first couple of drives, but Austin's doing a good job staying in it so far. 21-14.
Absolutely. This is going to be a fun one to the end, I think.
As we have, this is a play formation that I love here. Just motion out Saquon Barkley as Daniel Jones will drop back. Only 4-man rush, has the drag wide open, ends up going to it, and this is Evan Engram. I think they'll give him the first down. Looks like you got a reach for it animation. No, 2nd and inches, excuse me. I'm trash.
Well, and you kind of called it there. That pre-motion snap really gave away the man defense. And Evan Engram, as the tight end, lined up on a drag route against the linebackers, going to win that 99 times out of 100.
Play action here. Once again, no one really open. Cody doing a good job with his user. Daniel Jones rolls out. Watch those hits. I mean, I guess that's near the sideline, so you're not really risking much on a fumble there, but not the first time that Daniel Jones has been hit here, and technically a sack by Pratt, now 3rd and 1 to 34.
I mean, at that point, just throw it away. You're not getting anything anyway.
Right.
I mean, it's just not worth the risk, even with you being on the sideline. Seeing that ball lay right there, waiting to be picked up too many times. But I really don't like the play action in that scenario. I mean, you got to get the ball down the field. If you're going to run it,
As we have an inside zone here to Hines, and Hines gets locked up. Will they give him the first down? No, 4th and inches here at the 35, and Cincinnati smartly takes timeout. I mean, despite the fact that you have Saquon, I'm probably punting this ball. I don't know, though. You can make arguments both ways here, I think. What would you do in this situation?
I would personally either fake it or punt it. I wouldn't line up for a play call here, but I also don't have Saquon Barkley, so
that's a good point. We'll see. Austin can make me look very stupid here potentially if he does have Saquon Barkley, but as we have a stretch here, and he does have the hole in an easy first down, and Bates ends up being able to get the tackle there. A really nice play design there from New York. Saw the stacked box, went to the stretch play, and an injury timeout here for the Giants. I believe that's one of the linemen, but regardless, a critical 4th down conversion, 1st and 10 of the 44.
Yeah, it's former Atlanta Falcon tight end Levine Toilolo out for the Giants.
Rise up, 1st and 10 here at the 44. Saquon Barkley has that X factor lit up, so watch out if you're Cody in this situation. Do X factors, does that continue past halftime, or does halftime wipe that away? Do you know?
That's a good question. I don't actually know, to be quite honest with you. I would think it would continue. I think in 28 continued. We'll see.
Okay. So that'll be interesting to see here as the dump off to Saquon Barkley. There goes for gain 10, 2nd and inches. And now, again, wanted to make sure you don't burn too much time off here, especially the 2 timeouts. That is some weird, looked like it should have been a first down there. Only 3-man rush, goes to the post route, and Sterling Shepard comes down with a nice catch there. A beautiful read there by Austin in a 20-yard gain.
So I mentioned earlier how I think Austin really has to stay away from that short and middle area, which is exactly where Cody's user was right there again. Those routes, though, in the medium to deep middle, those have worked well so far for Austin. I think he's got to look for some routes in that range. Can really get some crossers working well there.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Of course, with the deep post touchdown to Shepard on the first drive, as we have an inside zone here to Saquon Barkley, and watch out, he has the blocking, falls forward, does not quite get the first down, and yeah, we'll see. I think another inside zone here probably if this defensive lineman holds up. Yeah, I'm snapping this right now. Oh, we have a play action here. Drops back. A beautiful play design and a walk-in touchdown for the Giants as we will have a tie game here heading into halftime.
Absolutely caught everybody by surprise there, not handing to X Factor Saquon on the one, but a scream to Naheem Hines and a walk-in touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, that was just an excellent decision there from Austin. I mean, I was expecting the run. I think everyone was expecting the run. He noticed that Cody, I think, was usered on Hines' man, ended up going to Hines, and that was about as easy as it gets there. 21-21, and unless a miracle happens, this will likely be the score at halftime. Again, these games of the week, again, these critical, potentially playoff deciding games for multiple users, not just the users involved in here. This is what you want to see in these Better League Network games. Nice and competitive here in a tie game with 12 seconds left in the second.
Yeah, and with the last couple plays here, probably not mattering too much. Just want to touch real quick on the implications of this game because everybody likes the implication.
For sure.
So we've got the Bengals right now sitting at 6-4, currently half game up on your Browns in the AFC North. As you see Burrow there getting a few, and I believe, what are they, second in the division behind Jesse's 8-3 Steelers, right in that wild card mix, along with quite a few other teams. So Cody, I mean, you got to think he's going to make the playoffs at least as the 7th seed, but nevertheless, this is a big game for him.
I mean, you would hope so, but yeah.
AFC North.
Yeah.
I mean, the AFC North, yourself included, has been really performing past expectations to this point. Even with Cody not having as much success as everybody predicted.
Yeah, Jesse, I mean, I mentioned Austin's probably had the most surprising season of anyone in the NFC. I think Jesse's probably had the most surprising season of anyone in the AFC. He's done a very good job against a pretty solid schedule as well. He got that win against Cody. He's put up a couple other solid performances. So impressive stuff here from Jesse. I'll be interested because his schedule gets a lot more difficult here in the final few games. I'll be interested to see if this performance continues. But yeah, Jesse's put himself in a very strong situation here as we have the final play of the first half and a handoff to Joe Mixon as he will get wrapped up. And that is a 21-21 ball game heading at halftime. A tie game in Paul Brown Stadium.
Yep, and then as I alluded to, over to the NFC, as far as the Giants, NFC East practically over already, unfortunately. Really the only division that is the case. Nevertheless, there are plenty of implications here for a number of NFC teams, several vying for that number 1 seed. And real quick, just to touch on that number 1 seed, I think this Madden this year, more than any other season in BL history, that number 1 seed is going to be absolutely crucial because even though we're definitely going to have, teams in the playoffs that are better than others, we've seen that even the teams that are not going to make the playoffs can beat the top tier teams any given game. So getting a free game essentially in the playoffs is huge.
Slayton with a beautiful run there, gain 17. Yeah, I mean, we have seen more just like straight up upsets and more, strange results that you basically saw on Madden Skull. You wouldn't really think them to be the case than almost any other season I can remember. I mean, I'm sure that part of it is just, people getting used to this new Madden. I mean, I've always said in my podcast that, like, seasons 1 and 2 are probably the seasons where you're most likely to see someone, like, shocking win the Super Bowl. So it doesn't, like, stun me that this is happening. But, yeah, we've even, like, compared to what I was expecting, a ton of upsets, a ton of weird results as we have a handoff to Saquon Barkley and a really nice wrap-up tackle there. And that answers our question. The X Factor does carry over into the second half, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I was watching that play. There you go. So question answered. But yeah, this is the 1 seed in the NFC. Very interesting. You've got the Giants here sitting at 8-2, and then you've got 3 teams at 8-3. The 8-3 Cardinals, 8-3 Panthers, and 8-3 Saints. You got to think either the Saints or Panthers are going to knock one of each other off. Then can the Cardinals hold up against the vaunted NFC West?
Right. The NFC West, I think, is the one I'm going to be most interested in moving forward. I mean, you, King, and Cloud are all still very much in contention. I mean, even Lucky, depending on how it breaks out, it's not inconceivable that he could win it still, but I don't think that's happening. I think at this point it's probably 3-man race. That's going to be really interesting because I think, like, how y'all's division breaks out is probably going to decide playoff implications for a whole lot of users just beyond you three. First 10 here, the 46. Again, as Ben was just saying, very high implications for this game. A lot of users watching with bated breath as Daniel Jones dropped back. As Daniel Jones gets taken down there, Cody doing a good job of taking away multiple routes there, and Jordan Evans with the sack, 2nd and 19.
You know, I know you got to mix it up, but I really don't like the under center pass on 1st down with your X Factor Saquon.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Which I'm actually not sure what his X Factor is. I'm going to look it up here real quick just for reference.
Yeah, I mean, you want to do a good job of, establishing both the running game and the passing game, but at some point, you got Saquon Barkley, you got to use him. I'm expecting a power O out of gun there. Interesting play call. I like those power O's out of gun this year. I think they're pretty effective. There it doesn't work out, unfortunately, and we have a 3rd and long here for the Giants. And how aggressive will we see Daniel Jones and company get here? This will be interesting, I think, to see Austin's mindset here on this 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to the 49.
Yeah, I really hate. I mean, especially having watched the Atlanta Falcons in real life this year, I hate the 2nd and long run. I mean, you're setting yourself up for a 3rd and long.
I mean, it's good to try to take him by surprise, but yeah, as we have a corner right here, it's maybe an interception by Trey Waynes. It is an interception, unable to stay in bounds. Tried to jurtle to stay in bounds. I like that, but
he sure did.
Yeah, that was never going to work out. 1st and 10 here at the 20, although not the worst thing in the world for the Giants. That's pretty much an arm punt. But Joe Burrow and company take over for the first time in the 2nd half. How aggressive will we see Cody take over here? Tie game, handoff to Joe Mixon. Really nice user tackle there by Dawkins, gain of 4.
Well, for your question, I don't think he's going to necessarily be overly aggressive. I think the Bengals in this 1st half were at their best when they were just kind of taking what the defense was giving them. I think we see a lot more of that here in the 2nd half.
I think it may very well be right here. A dive up the middle by Joe Mixon. Once again, wrapped up. This Giants run D, I mean, part of it is I think Austin's generally done a pretty good job of shooting the gap, but even there when his user's nowhere near the ball carrier, this Giants D-line and this Giants linebacking core doing a pretty good job of keeping Joe Mixon in check. We've only really seen one chunk play on the ground, and other than that, Joe Mixon's, really only getting 4 or less yards per carry. Real quick, let me just give a shout out to everyone who's watching this. We got Alex in here. We got CMass. We got Steele. We got Cloud. We got Taint. Big love to y'all. And I know all of you have rooting interests. Even you, Taint. Even the people who have no chance of making the playoffs. 3rd and 4 here at the 27. As Joe Burrow will drop back here. Might have, our RB was not open there. As we will have to throw out a sack. And an interception by Reed. And that is what I'm talking about is Reed. Oh, Mike break this big here as the Bengals don't tackle him. Ends up getting him at the 27-yard line. I don't know what the hell just happened, but the Giants take over deep in Bengals territory. 1st and 10 at the 27.
Yeah, a little over-aggression from Cody there. Didn't have anything open, just wanted to fire it up. You can't do that on these deep routes. You just can't. It's just too risky at this point. Now I think we see the Giants feed Saquon to the end zone.
Yeah, we'll see some Saquon here. I think you're exactly right. As he's coming out in pistol, and this will be a runner out of the middle. As Saquon Barkley will fall forward for gain of 6. Yeah, I mean those throws out of sack, man. That's something I'm still having to adjust to. I mean, having announced a lot of those games, I know that's something that even users who are far better than me, even the elite users, are also having to adjust to. It's something that we didn't have to deal with as much in past Maddens. And yeah, if you try to chuck a deep ball there and you're throwing out a sack, it's a nearly guaranteed interception.
Yeah, and I do actually like it from Madden's past when they would just simply throw the ball a foot forward for an incomplete pass. A little more realism, but it's creating a lot of turnovers.
That's creating a lot of turnovers, and I think that may be part of why we're seeing a lot of upsets. Is it's kind of an equalizing factor here. Saquon Barkley will fall forward for gain of 1, and that's important because his X factor will stay activated there. Had the potential of losing it. Taint real quickly saying that he doesn't think Cody said, "Oh, Taint, I love you." He gives 5 subs to the Better League Network. Thank you so much, Taint. We love you. Oh my God. That, pew, 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 pew. Contributing to my steak dinner. Thank you so much, Taint, for real. I appreciate you. 3rd and 3 here at the 20, and we will see a handoff here to Saquon Barkley. And Saquon Barkley gets forward, and a touchdown for the Giants.
I think that was a read option right there from Danny Dimes, and just wide open on that right side for Barkley. You know, if you're the Bengals,
just want to let you all know that.
Cody with some raids there saying that they just run by them. I mean that's facts, man. I mean that was just tough from Cody's perspective. But yeah, the Giants up 28-21. Now Cody having to answer some questions here, down by 7, although he will get the ball back here. 28-21 Giants.
Yep, and we're getting what we expected here with a heavy dose of Saquon. No doubt Cody, as you can hear, he's going to be looking for it the rest of the way. He'll be expecting it. So it's going to be interesting to see how Austin tries to mix it up a little bit. I think the key here down the stretch is going to be those play action passes that you alluded to at the beginning of the game. Can Austin hit those? Is Cody ready for them when they come?
Gets stuck on the D line, and Tate ends up dropping the ball there on the drag route. That's kind of tough. Maybe he could have gone for a possession catch there, but regardless, that's a unlucky break for Cincinnati. And now a 2nd and 10 situation. Cody very obviously frustrated, as we just heard in the stream. Can't go too aggressive here. Still with all the time in the world, only a 1-possession game. Just run your normal offense as we have a handoff to Joe Mixon. And another really nice user tackle there. Austin doing a really good job with these these runs out of gun, doing a really nice job of shooting the gap there and preventing what could have been a first down, 3rd and 5.
And I could be mistaken, but I think he's using a little tactic that I've tried a couple of times myself on some of these inside runs with the linebackers, is to kind of be using the linebacker to get in the right spot and then clicking off at the last moment to ensure that they make the open field tackle.
As Joe Burrow will drop back here. Interesting. Nice possession catch there. It looked like if Austin had been a little bit more reactive there, he could have maybe gotten a pick. But regardless, that is a gain of 7 and a first down. Yeah, that's something I've tried a couple times. And it always feels like whenever I click off right as my guy's about to tackle, my guy just won't react to the ball carrier. But, Austin doing a very good job there. Gain of 7 and a first down here.
By the way, shout out to Tank. 4-7 this year. Greatly improved from Madden 20. 5 subs. Taint, you're the man.
Yeah, Taint, really the MVP in my opinion. And Taint is legitimately getting better. I think a lot of users, like Austin, for example, we've seen a lot of users who, are not necessarily in the highest tier of Madden ability heading into this Madden. They've put the work in, they've put the grind in, and they're getting a lot better. And I think that's good for the better league. I think it's good when it's unpredictable who's going to win each year. It's just good for the health of the league as we have a handoff to Joe Mixon. And Joe Mixon bounces off an offensive lineman. Again, shout out to Justin. Again, a 12 on the first down. Should have beat Connor. That's real funny.
Starting to see the holes open up, and you're starting to see these little short plays that are working well for Cincinnati. They get 8 yards here, 9 yards there, and any moment now they could break one for 40.
As we have another dump off here to Joe Mixon, and again, doing a really good job of getting athletes into open space. Breaks it for a gain of 23 and a first down. Cincinnati finds itself in the red zone once again. There's been a nearly guaranteed touchdown every time they've gotten into the red zone so far, and now it's going to be imperative that Austin get a stop here, try to maintain the lead, first 10-19. As I said, Burrow making a series of adjustments. He will drop back. Had X open, does not go to him. As Burrow will just, smartly throws the ball away. No one really opened there at the end of the play.
Yeah, I think he really wanted to get the ball to Mixon there. I like that play design with the 2 drag routes there that normally the user is going to go with at least one of them. But I think maybe Austin catching on a little bit. Smart play to stick with Mixon. Had that drag coming to the right side, but when he realized it was too late.
Yeah, Austin doing a really good job there. And another inside zone here for Joe Mixon. And Joe Mixon gets wrapped up, and now this will be interesting. 3rd and 8 here at the 17. Going to be really imperative for Austin to disguise his coverage here. Cody is one of the best throwers of the ball in the red zone in this league. I've seen that firsthand, having played him twice. It's going to be really important that Austin not allow him to pre-read his coverage, or else it's a GG here. 3rd and 8 at 17. Burrow once again making a series of adjustments as is to be expected. Austin doing a really good job. Post route, touchdown Bengals!
Beautiful, beautiful read by Cody Young's son right there. Man defense looked like a cover 2 look. Had the little short post, slant route coming across wide open. User picked it up very well, but then you had the post over the deep middle. Excellent throw, perfect timing, touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful, man. I did not even see that whatsoever. I was too busy looking at the wheel route, but Cody with an excellent read there. And now we have a tie ball game once again. Austin has done a very good job of staying in this game up until this point. Still a tie game. We'll have to see how much he feeds Saquon Barkley here moving forward as we head to the end of the third quarter. And once it gets to the fourth quarter, you all know what to do. I shouldn't have to say it at this point. First and 10 here at 25. As New York's still trying to figure out this play coverage here. All right. Play coverage. He's on offense. Imagine. First and 10 here at the 25. Likely an inside zone here. No, another power O out of gun as Saquon will fall forward, although this Bengals D-line started doing a much better job of filling the gaps here. And man, Saquon Barkley, 15 rushes, 197 yards on the day. That really shows it all right there.
Yeah, and it's got to be frustrating for Cody. He's throwing the kitchen sink at Austin right here, doing everything he can to slow down this run game. But the fact is that that linebacking core and that defensive line just haven't been able to make the block sheds they need to for the most part.
Yeah, they've been very... had the in route wide open, does not go to it. Daniel Jones just chucks it upfield. Very lucky to not have the ball intercepted there. That was just... He just yeeted that into double coverage. That was a desperation throw there. And we have a 3rd and 8 here at the 27. Again, lucky to not turn the ball over right there.
Absolutely. Got happy feet. He was able to evade 2 would-be sacks there. It looked like for sure he was going to go down in the backfield. And then just felt like he had to get it off. That looked like the Danny Dimes of real life right there.
It did, very much did. Yeah, the pressure comes to, and he just does not know what to do. 3rd and 8 here at 27. Again, 43 seconds left remaining. This is a nice opportunity for Cody to potentially conserve some momentum here. Another slip screen here. A nice play call. Will he fall forward? No, gets decleated at the 33, and that's a huge tackle because now it's 4th and 2, and New York forced to punt this ball away.
Man, that is a just gigantic tackle by old Billy Jackson.
Yeah, really nice hit stick there again. It has not been... Oh, watched it. Oh, I didn't even think he fair caught it, to be honest with you. I didn't even see it, but shit. All right. I thought Cody was about to really screw the pooch there. But first 10 here, the 8. For the first time all game, Cincinnati scores and then gets a stop immediately. And he may get some momentum heading into the fourth quarter. This will likely be the last play of the third quarter as we are going to have an end around to John Ross. And watch out. John Ross able to spin off a man. Really nice coverage there. And now, as we head into the fourth quarter, put your 4s in the chat. We have a big one here. Tie game here in Cincinnati, 28-28.
As an Atlanta Falcon fan, I do not consent.
2nd and 9 at the 24. Again, really tight game here. Game of the week here on the Better League Network. Week 12 game of the week. Again, shout out to Ben. First time he's announced a game on the Better League Network. Matave wide open. Does not go to it. Instead, Joe Burrow will take off here. Ends up... I don't really know what happened there, to be honest with you. That was tough. 3rd and 9 here at the 24.
It looked beautiful. I mean, he had everybody committing to the run there. I mean, Burrow had a ton of space. He could have picked up 4 or 5 on his own. But then he had an opportunity to pick up 30 plus, and Burrow misses a throw. That's a tough one for the youngster.
Yeah, it's a tough situation there for Cody. And now we have a 3rd and 9 here. Potential opportunity here for, watch X as he has the post route. And this is the veteran A.J. Green. Will he be caught? He will not. Touchdown, Bengals. And a massive chunk play here to open the fourth quarter.
Wow. What a beautiful read. And a touch on that pass, too, to get it right over that safety. That is vintage Cody at its best right there.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful stuff there from Cody. Once again, a really nice chunk play to regain the lead. And now if you're Austin, you know, it may feel like you just got punched in the gut. Cody on a 14-point run here, but still very much in this game. Just, keep establishing Saquon, keep running your normal offense. It's been working generally, so do not panic from Austin's perspective here. I definitely do not say this as someone who needs Cincinnati to lose to stay in the playoff hunt. 35-28. Cincinnati. And again, both announcers probably watching this with bated breath, although on different sides here. Daniel Jones will take over once again as we have another stretch play to hear Saquon Barkley. And watch the blocking here, able to shed a tackle, and watch out, and sheds another tackle. Saquon is eating here in Cincinnati, gained at 16.
So as we watched that run, I did check and see what his X factor is. It's first one free, so I don't know if it really came into play right there. Nevertheless, Saquon on his own just eating today.
First one free is the first juke move's guaranteed to work, right? Or do I have that wrong?
It's a juke if you juke, the second one is guaranteed.
Ooh, okay.
Mhm.
Huh. Okay, because I know Nick Chubb has first one free.
I think.
Apparently, I haven't known what it's
Could
been this
be
whole
wrong.
time. That's all good. Who really knows, I guess. 2nd and 9 here at the 42 as the Cody run defense comes through there. Only a gain of 1. And now, again, how aggressive will we see Daniel Jones get here? This is... I'd probably do inside zone here based on what I'm seeing from the... never mind, as Cody starts to stack the box a little bit more. No, he does end up doing inside zone, able to bounce outside, and Saquon Barkley gets wrapped up there by the left end. That is Wilson with tackle. 3rd and long-ish here, 3rd and 7 at the 44.
Yeah, great play by Wilson that time. That could have been a huge gain. Not really even sure who that guy is. Not Nico Wilson. But nevertheless, big time play.
Sure not. 3rd and 7 here, the 44. A big opportunity for the Bengals to conserve some momentum here as Daniel Jones will drop back, has the outright open, ends up going to it, and this is Evan Ingram with a critical first down.
Oh, man, that is absolutely huge. You saw Austin start to get a little bit of happy feet in the back of that pocket. He's feeling the pressure right now, but definitely a great look to a wide open Ingram. First down.
Yeah, did a good job of not staring down the deep routes there, just went to the dump off. And when you've got Evan Ingram, man, a tight end with, I think, 90 speed, that's sometimes all you got to do, especially in this Madden. 1st and 10 at the 44, a critical 3rd down conversion here for the New York Giants, and now they find themselves on Cody's side of the field. Once again, as we have Hines in the game here, this will be interesting to see if he trusts Hines in the run game here, or if he ends up going with a pass on 1st and 10, motions Ingram to the left. What will he do here? Yes, he ends up dropping back. The blitz does not get through. Daniel Jones rolls out. Got to throw this ball away. Yes, he does. Saves a massive loss there. 2nd and 10 to the 44.
Yep, had a couple of guys coming open, but with that pressure coming, I got to give this Bengals D-line credit. They haven't done well against the run, but in a pass rush situation, I don't know if they've gotten home more than one or twice in this game, but they're at least affecting the decision-making of Austin and Daniel Jones.
Yeah, they're getting that initial block shed there, as you said exactly, making Daniel Jones have to think about it a little bit more. Can't just stand there and assume the blocking is always going to hold up. CMAS Taint gave us 5 gifted subs, and once again, Taint, if you're still listening, thank you so much. I appreciate you. 2nd and 10 to the 44. Again, this is a critical drive, really, for both teams. Austin trying to stay in this game. Cody trying to establish a dominant lead here. This is Saquon Barkley. Ooh, nice tackle there. Wrapped up Saquon Barkley, and we have another 3rd and 7 here.
Yeah, once again, on 1st down, going to the pass, and 2nd and long, handing off to Saquon. Never will understand that strategy of doing it that way, but can't argue with how well he's run the ball with Saquon. When you're averaging over 10 yards carry, I guess you can run it on 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I mean, there's, you try to establish unpredictable tendencies. You try to, make Cody have to think about it offensively. But at some point, you just got to kind of go with your bread and butter. You do have Saquon, and on the 1st and 10, I'm running the ball damn near every time. 3rd and 7 here, the 41. Really important as we have a handoff here in 3rd and 7. Might have the blocking, establishes the edge, and another critical first down for the Giants, converting these 3rd and longs over and over. And Saquon Barkley with 232 yards on the day. First down, Giants.
Yep, and for as good as William Jackson's tackle on the last drive to stop the drive was, this time, poor pursuit angle cost the Bengals that could have potentially stopped him there and forced a 4th down. Saquon, really difficult to contain once he gets outside.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, once Saquon's able to establish the edge on you, once he gets outside, there's not a lot you can do. You just got to pray at that point. 1st and 10 at the 27. What will we see here is, once again, Hines is in the ballgame. I wonder if this is telegraphing a pass. I'll be interested to see. We do have a run here by Hines. Hines bounces outside, unable to get past the first level. Although that is a gain of 3, making it 2nd and 7.
Yeah, not a huge game, but I do like, I definitely was on the same page as you there with all the audibles and checks to wide receivers. Hines in the backfield, was not expecting a run, but a good play by the Cincinnati D-line to shut that down.
Yeah, very good play from the D-line. CMAS pointing out that Better League Network's officially at 45 subs in less than a month, and after this play, I'll thank you all for that. Just announce this real quick. 2nd and 7 here as we have a handoff to Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley, who gets tripped on his right tackle there on his lead blocker, and we have another, 3rd and 8 this time. But I do real quick want to thank you all. Everyone who's followed the channel, everyone who's subscribed to the channel. You are what makes the Better League great. It's an honor for CMAS and myself, and Ben and guys like that to make content for you all. It's a true honor. 3rd and 8 here at the 25.
Absolutely a brotherhood. It's always fun for everybody, and that's the best part.
100%. Is we do have another 3rd and long-ish here. Of course, we've seen Austin convert 2 of these already this drive. Will we see him convert a 3rd? I wouldn't get too aggressive here as Daniel Jones will drop back, does not have anyone open, throws it to Saquon Barkley, and Barkley gets past the first man, and another critical first down for the Giants. Oh my God. That was crazy.
These 3rd down conversions are just huge right now. Once again, Danny Dimes feeling the pressure, able to get it out to his man Saquon for a big first down. Now we see in the red zone, this is where we separate the men from the boys.
Yeah, this is we actually have not seen that many red zone opportunities for the Giants yet. They've really only scored on like chunk play touchdowns so far. So this is kind of new here as we have a handoff to Saquon Barkley. Barkley, I thought he was going to cut all the way outside there, but able to get a gain of 4. We have 2nd and 6 here, and Taint, the sideline reporter's fiance came over, so not much you can do about that. 2nd and 6.
Yeah, talk about how big the red zone is. One easy answer there is feed Saquon Barkley. You cannot go wrong with that.
Yeah, you sure can. I mean, the red zone runs, man, it's so difficult to stop. And coming out in Wildcat is interesting, especially with Slayton back there, because you're pretty much telegraphing that it's a run. I don't know about this, as we have a read option to Slayton. I almost think it would have been better off just handing the ball off, but Slayton able to fall forward there for gain of 2, and we have a 3rd and 4 here, as we are under 4 minutes remaining in the game.
That was a really weird look because the Red Sea parted at first, and then
right. That's what I'm saying.
Like every Bengal player just collapsed right there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure. I'll watch it back. I'm pretty sure if he had handed that off to Saquon, that was a touchdown. But regardless, we'll never know. 3rd and 4 here at the 7. Another critical 3rd down opportunity here, and this might be 4 down territory here if he does not convert it. At this point, I'll probably expect that as Daniel Jones with a handoff here. Saquon Barkley bounces outside, has the blocking, touchdown Giants. A massive drive there with multiple critical 3rd down conversions, and the Giants tie the game up here, 35-35 in Paul Brown Stadium.
Yep, excellent setup there for the Giants. They loaded up that left side. Not a great adjustment from the Bengals defense there. And that's just too easy. After a long drive like that, a little bit deflating, but if anybody can overcome it, it's Super Bowl 23 champion Cody Young.
Yes, sir. We all know about the vaunted kiss of death. I'm not going to overspeak on Austin for his sake, but I do think like that drive right there, under the bright lights game of the week against a user as strong as Cody, that drive right there showed me that Austin is going to be a playoff contender. That was just a clutch drive on multiple levels. And now Cody having to take over here, perhaps reeling a little bit, gave up a really nice long extended drive there for the New York Giants. Still a tie ball game though, and we will see what Joe Burrow and company are able to do here. First 10 to 25, 3:24 remaining as we will have a handoff here to Joe Mixon, and Joe Mixon has blocking. Mixon able to fall forward for gain of 10 and a first down.
Well, this whole game, that's about as good a job as we've seen from the Bengals offensive line of creating space. That was an easy run for a first down and a great start to the drive if you're a Cincinnati fan.
Yeah, really nice. Part of this is time management, making sure if you score, making sure to leave Austin with as little time as possible. But of course, I'm sure at this point, Cody just trying to put points on the board however he can here as we are under 3 minutes remaining, in the 4th quarter. Another handoff here to Joe Mixon. This time the D-line does a better job of getting him down, although that is a gain of 5, and this may be the Joe Mixon show here moving forward as long as Austin isn't able to stop it.
Yep, look for Cody to try and take this clock down as much as he can, getting in field goal range. Could see some interesting decisions here if we get to a 3rd.
As the stretch gets wrapped up there behind the line, and now we have a 3rd and 6 here, and this may be the biggest play of the game here, really, for both teams. As we are approaching the 2-minute warning. We will, looks like, get to the 2-minute warning before a play gets off here. This is massive. This is going to be a massive, massive play because if Cody isn't able to, get a first down here, force punt ball away, and with how Saquon's been looking these last couple of drives, I would not trust this Bengals defense to stop him driving for a potential game-winning field goal. But for now, Cincinnati on offense. 3rd and 6 here, the 39.
So I think on this play, look for a medium length route here for about 10 to 15 yards downfield. I think that's where Cody's going to try to attack.
As we have a drop back here for Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow will go to Joe Mixon, wide open up the middle. That's exactly what you were saying there. First down, Cincinnati, a crucial conversion there to keep this drive going. Really nice read there, and now this is 1st and 10 at the 44. Now
It's just too easy. You cannot leave Mixon open there. I mean, I know there's a lot of weapons, but man.
Yeah, as Joe Mixon will go bounce outside there. God, again, I fall apart in the 4th quarter in the announcing booth, so you can imagine what happens to Madden. Really nice inside zone there for a gain of 6. And Dan saying this is a playoff game for Cody. He needs to string some wins together down the stretch. Time to lock it now. I mean, that's facts. You know, this AFC playoff race is looking pretty difficult. So this is a really, really important game for Cody and for myself as well. 2nd and 4 here at the 37. Under a minute remaining in the 4th quarter. And now if you're in New York, you got to consider calling some of this timeouts. Run commit. Oh, as he throws to the one man who's covered, and a pass interference on Tyler Boyd. Oh my gosh. That was a sure touchdown if Cody goes to literally anyone else. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, pass interference and now on the 2-yard line.
It absolutely looked like a run commit. I think you had it spot on there. And out there on the outside, the only superstar defensive back, James Bradbury, for this Giants defense on an island, called for the pass interference.
Yeah, that's really, I mean, first off, how Cody did not see any of those other routes open, I don't know. But then very tough there as Joe Mixon bounces outside. Walk-in touchdown, Bengals. And a beautiful drive there to take the lead. And now Austin asked to drive here with 46 seconds left, 3 timeouts. A nice drive there, touchdown Bengals.
Yeah, and it may sound a little silly to say, but that's in that situation, 1st and goal in the 1 with this time remaining, the 1st down touchdown may be the best thing the Giants could hope for other than a turnover in that case, because now you've got 3 timeouts in 46 seconds. Yes, you need a touchdown, but as opposed to needing a field goal with the ball on your own 20-yard line with, say, 30 seconds, it might be a little bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, you never want to get too cute and then end up, you know, missing a stupid field goal. But yeah, I mean, that's a situation where at least those first couple plays, I may have considered, you know, either taking a knee or like a QB sneak or whatever. Make Austin use a couple of those timeouts because now, as he said, still with 3 timeouts, we've seen far crazier things happen in the Better League so far. But regardless, Cody made his decision. He is up 7 with 46 seconds remaining, and Austin coming out in the Wildcat here. This is, just don't agree with this on any level, really. But 1st and 10 to 25. Will we see Saquon get loose? May very well here. Will he have the blocking? Saquon Barkley gets past first level. Saquon Barkley ends up getting all the way to the 45. A 20-yard gain and a quick timeout there for the Giants.
Well, that tells you how much we know. Both of us were pretty disappointed in the look there, but a good chunk play here to start. You know, you've got 2 timeouts left. You really can't afford to get tackled inbounds for anything less than that 15 or so yard gain at this point, but worked out.
It did. I mean, I was disappointed because I thought Cody was going to stack the box more than that, but kind of let it happen. I have to say, 1st and 10 to the 45, and all of a sudden looking much more manageable here potentially for Daniel Jones and companies. What will we see here? Goes out and empty for, I think, the first time all game, if I remember correctly. The blitz does not get through. Had the dump off open. Ends up going to it. This is Saquon Barkley. Smartly goes out of bounds. Is that a first down? No, 2nd and inches. Although a 10-yard gain there for Saquon Barkley.
Man, you saw Cody playing a cover 2 right there. If that had been recognized by Austin, that receiver on the left side was in a streak. Could have been a touchdown. That's the old Cam Newton to Stephon Diggs Falcons Madden 20 special.
No, I was going to say, yeah. If I had a nickel for every time you've exposed me on cover 2, I would be a rich man. Oh my God. 2nd and inches. As once again, coming out an empty, I think I would at least like establish the threat of a run given that, you know, still with 2 timeouts, 35 seconds left. But who am I to question Austin at this point? Only 3-man rush here as Daniel Jones drops back, and this will be a deep shot to Tate. Does not come down with it. 3rd and inches here as the ball falls incomplete.
Yeah, I don't hate taking the deep shot there. You still have two timeouts and obviously only inches to go. I think in this situation, you may see a handoff. Obviously you've still got that fourth down to lean on, but this is where the cheese gets a little binding here. Uh,
Yeah.
it starts to maybe tighten up. We'll see what Austin can come through with.
Yeah, I'm handing this off and calling timeout and just living to see another day here with this drive, as we do have a handoff here to Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley does not get much, although he does get that first down. And New York, as I said, calls the immediate timeout here, first 10 of the 43.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say that was the wrong call because you got the first down. But at the same time, at this point, if you're not picking up, you really got to get to at least the 20-yard line to be taking shots to the end zone, which he's going to have to do pretty soon.
Three-man rush here from the Bengals, and Daniel Jones, will go to Golden Tate, probably for the best there, falls incomplete, and now with 20 seconds remaining, 2nd and 10 here at the 43. Interesting to go to
Absolutely for the best.
a 5-yard route there. I don't know about that.
Yep, 100%. Right now, he's got to hit him in that kind of middle 15 to 20-yard range to at least give yourself a couple shots at the end zone without throwing into triple coverage every time.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be very interested to see if we just see a bunch of shots at the end zone at this point, or if Daniel Jones thinks he has a couple more dump-offs in him as we have him drop back here. Has single coverage to the end zone. Will he go to it? Was that a playmaker? Yeah, I think that was a playmaker, which is why he ended up throwing the ball away. I'm pretty sure it was, yeah.
I didn't see the playmaker on the top there. I did not see that. I think that route just developed itself, and if that's the case, Austin's got to be kicking himself.
Yeah, I mean, if that wasn't a playmaker, then yeah, Saquon was wide open up the streak there, and that's really tough. But I don't know. Well, we'll have to ask Austin about that. 3rd and 10 here at the 43. At this point, still with one timeout left, you can still afford to get another play without it being a touchdown necessarily, but really got to go downfield. Ooh, might have it. It does not go to him. Single coverage here. This is Trey Reigns. Incomplete here, and now 4th and 10 at the 43. This may end up being the last offensive play here for the New York Giants. Do or die time here in Cincinnati.
But he was playing as the linebacker and did not have the outside leverage. And there's a couple shots here that Austin's going to be disappointed if he doesn't win this game.
Only a 3-man rush, and he will drop back. Nearly intercepted by Davis Gaither, but that will not matter. That is game. And Cincinnati with a massive win here to potentially secure their playoff hopes. 42-35 Cincinnati. A wonderful, wonderful game. Good job to both users. That was a crazy one, Ben.
What a great game. I mean, these two teams clearly showed both their skills and their wits throughout the game. Definitely two teams that we'll see in the playoffs, in my opinion. And man, what a treat here for a midseason cross-conference game.
Yeah, really nice stuff there. I mean, that's one of the higher quality games I think we've ever broadcasted on a Better League Network. Really impressive stuff from Austin. As much as you can hold your head high in the defeat in the Better League, I think Austin should do that. He did not play badly by any stretch, especially that game-tying drive was really impressive. But as you said, a couple missed opportunities there in the final drive, and that's sometimes all it comes down to against the users as elite as Cody, and a massive win for Cody that, again, will have ripple effects in both conferences.
Let's go!
As Cody's celebrating. Oh, my God. Cody, how we feeling?
I mean, the game went exactly how we thought it was gonna go. I mean, the Bengals, horrible rush defense, couldn't stop a leak. Couldn't stop anything. But we trust Joe Burrow, and he was out here dropping some dimes for some touchdowns. And so I knew if he was gonna give me a chance to score the ball or go down and get the last points, then I'd probably win the game.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the smoothest road to get there. I mean, especially in the first quarter, a couple early questionable decisions. Austin, to be fair to him, played very well, especially in that game-tying drive. But you are able to pull it out. And speak to me about how important this is for your playoff chances. I mean, especially in our division, in our conference, just like how important is this for you moving forward?
Oh yeah, I gotta win out. I mean, that's the Cincinnati Bengals. Like that's all that's on our mind right now is the only way that we make the playoffs is if we win out. Because if we win out, we're what 11 or 12-4, I think, or 11-5, 12 and what, what
12
am
and
I?
4, 12 and 4, yeah.
12-4 if I win out. So I don't think 12-4 misses the playoffs. So
Sure doesn't.
yeah. So if we win out, we make the playoffs. I don't wanna put anything else in anyone else's hands, and we got to clean up the defensive side of the ball. But we feel confident about our offense.
All right, big stuff, Cody. Well, congratulations to you. I can't. No, this is your second time at the Better League Network. First post game interview I think we've ever had on the Better League Network, and you came in with the energy.
Big
Oh my
win,
god,
Cody! Congrats.
Thank you.
impeccable stuff. That was Cody Youngson, the winner of this really, again, critical Week 12 game for both conferences. This will send ripple effects down both conferences in terms of various teams' playoff hopes. 42-35 Bengals. Ben, what are your overall just takeaways from this game?
So I think we saw a champion rise to the occasion at the end there in Cody. I mean, that's just classic stuff right there.
Mm-hmm.
And look for that down the stretch and into the postseason. And I also think we saw a real contender on the rise in the Giants, and maybe a top 3 player in the entire league in Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I mean that's as impressive of a loss as I can remember. I mean,
Yep.
moral victories aren't really a thing in the Better League, but as much as they can be, Austin again should not feel down about that whatsoever. He did a good job at. Oh, as I send stuff flying all over my desk there. Cody, real quick, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. CMass has a quick question for you. What were your thoughts after the Giants went down and converted 3 third downs to score a touchdown to tie it, and then you're taking over with a rookie quarterback needing points there at the end?
Yeah, that was infuriating. Like the defense on first and second really stepped up and like stopped them on a couple run plays to get them in some third and longs multiple times, and it just seemed like the deal, like we couldn't get to the quarterback, or we were just a second leg into the quarterback, or coverage broke down or something, and whether it was him finding Saquon, or I think might have been even Sterling Shepard or Evan Ingram on a couple different plays. But yeah, that was as a coach, that was frustrating. But yeah, I mean, as far as my whole mantra there was when it got to the point where there's like 2 or where there's like 3 or 4 minutes left, I honestly kind of started to get in this mindset of I don't want him to score, but if he does score, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. So especially when he got within 10, I kind of was just playing like pretty like aggressive, like if he was going to try to hit me with like a pass and that type of stuff to like throw him off and get a user alert, because otherwise I just wanted the time to go down and score, because I felt confident that I could, that at least I was going to get in field goal range with very little time left and make him burn his timeouts, which obviously I got the I think I didn't notice it, but I guess I saw people in chat talking about that he must have ran commit and somebody must have been wide open. But Boyd was wide, like I think because he ran commit, Tyler Boyd was also wide open on his streak, and so I just chucked the streak because that was the first route I looked at, and then he had to do the PI because he would have caught it for a touchdown if not. So yeah, I don't know. It was an infuriating defensive day overall.
As it always is in Madden 21.
Yes.
Oh man. I'll ask you one last question before we go, and unless Ben has anything for you, I don't want to step on him necessarily. But as we look at your schedule, of course, you have the Dolphins and Cowboys coming up. I don't want to assume anything, but I think we probably know those games are going to go. But then we have a critical divisional matchup against Jesse's Pittsburgh Steelers, a matchup that may end up deciding the division, honestly. You just barely lost to Jesse last time we played off of what was a Connor-esque hit stick there at the end. What are the like adjustments you need to make heading into that Week 15 game? Whether it be scheme wise, whether it be mental. Like how are you gonna attack that next game against the Steelers?
I think I've been saying this, I guess, in the chat and stuff. I've just been making way too, like, the first 10 weeks of the season, I've just been making way too many boneheaded mistakes. For example, like, when all Jesse has to do is, or Jesse's got like 10 seconds left and I, for some reason, just chuck a hit stick at him. So I feel really confident going against Jesse. I felt like I played really bad, but was still in the driver's seat for part of that game. So we just got to clean up the mistakes. I think I made about 2 like pretty bad mistakes in that game with the pick in the first quarter where I just forced it over the middle to AJ and didn't even see the safety that was playing underneath. And then I had that one where the play was broken down and was just trying to like chuck it deep and got to throw out a sack that got Austin in like, in scoring position basically immediately. And so still would like to clean some of those up. But I mean, if you look back at the box score in some of my games, Burrow is throwing upwards of 3 picks a game. So we're happy with where it's trending, but still need to keep cleaning up just the dumb errors.
All right, Ben, you got anything for Cody, or are we good to sign off?
Yeah, just real quick, Cody, since we got blessed with the post-game interview.
Yeah.
Hey, just quick thoughts here on Austin. Obviously, it's kind of a new power in BL, and obviously top team in the NFC.
That run game is no joke. Saquon's, I mean, even when there was times where I feel like I had Saquon at the line of scrimmage, he broke a tackle and then broke another tackle and picked up a first down. And that's like, I mean, and it's like when you play like Justin or King, any of these guys that can run the ball well, it's so demoralizing. And it's like, and it makes you kind of panic on the opposite side of the ball because you're like, I have to put up points because if not, he's just gonna run this down. He's just gonna run it down my throat, and the game's gonna be over like instantly because it uses so much time. So I mean, the way he's got a really nice scheme. He's not making a ton of mistakes. At least he didn't against me. And then he played really great defense as well. There was multiple times, I'm sure you guys could see, I was trying to set up some certain beaters, if you will, and he just wouldn't show me his coverage very often. There's a couple times that he hit his cover 3, or maybe he was in a cover 3 match or whatever it may be, or so he was hiding his cover or disguising his coverage really well, which is something that a lot of the elite users and playoff teams I think do best. And so I think Austin's on the rise. I think if he gets some even more dominant pass game, and then his defense the two things that I think will help him is more dominant pass game to be able to balance that with Saquon, and as well as just keep getting your defense better. Because I mean, at the end of the day, I did put up 42 points.
Yeah, well, if there's anybody who knows how to build that Giants team, it's the Super Bowl 23 champion New York Giants. But anyway, appreciate you jumping in here, Cody. It was a really, really great game. Fun to call.
Yeah, thanks for. I mean, I was gonna say thanks for having me, but I kind of just stormed in here.
Stormed in and just started yelling up a storm. I love it. Beautiful game there. 42-35 Bengals. Once again, Cody with a critical game to perhaps establish a playoff footing moving forward. And again, Austin should not hang his head whatsoever. He played very well. That was probably one of the highest quality games I've announced on the Better League Network so far. Ben, real quick, any closing thoughts before we sign this thing off?
Just a wonderful game here in the Better League, and let's just keep going for the rest of the season, the rest of the cycle.
Yeah, great stuff. It's been a fun season, and we're excited to keep bringing you content. We're excited to keep having games on the Better League Network. Real quick, while I still have guys in here, CMAS will be streaming Better League Red Zone at 9 Eastern tonight. Make sure to catch that. I know we got a couple big ones. Chargers-Bills and Chiefs-Bucks, I believe, are the two featured games, especially that Chargers-Bills game. I'm also going to be watching that with interest because that could have playoff implications for a lot of users as well. So make sure to catch that.
Two straight losses coming for the Buffalo Bills.
We're saying that. All right, good stuff. I'm inclined to agree. I mean, chances look really good. Again, thank you all so much for watching. This has been the Bear Network, along with Ben, the 49ers user. I am your play-by-play man for the evening, Connor Rice. Peace.